You already know something is off about Jason. You felt it the first time you watched the trailer. Everyone was focused on Lucia, the narration, the personality, the story, but something about Jason kept pulling your attention back. Something that didn't quite add up. And here's the thing, you were right to feel that way. Because Rockstar has been hiding Jason's true identity since day one. Not accidentally, not because the game isn't finished. Deliberately, strategically, the same way they hid the jetpack in GTA San Andreas for 15 years. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what they buried, the real backstory, the hidden detail sitting in the trailer that nobody has fully decoded, and the one truth about Jason that changes how you understand the entire GTA 6 story. By the end of this video, you will never look at Jason the same way again. Let's get into it. What everyone thinks they know. So let's start with the surface level read, because you need to understand what most people believe before you understand how badly they missed it. The general consensus on Jason is this. He's the male protagonist, he's Lucia's partner, he's the muscle, the chaos, the dangerous half of the duo. Most people described him as a Trevor upgrade. Reckless, violent, simple. That's what 90% of GTA 6 content has been built on, and it is completely wrong. Here's what people missed. In every single piece of official GTA 6 marketing, Jason is visually suppressed. The trailer is 2 minutes long, he is one of two main characters, and he gets three clean on-camera moments. The rest of the time he's in shadow, cut off at the frame edge, or looking away from the camera entirely. Rockstar didn't do that by accident. These are the people who spent months deciding what color shoes an NPC wears. Every frame of that trailer was a conscious choice. So why is the male protagonist of the most anticipated game in history being hidden from his own marketing? That question is the entire foundation of this video. I want you to think about something. Name one other major video game in the last 10 years where the male lead was kept visually obscured in the reveal trailer. Just one. You can't, because it doesn't happen. Publishers push protagonist faces, they put them on billboards, they make them the icon. Rockstar did the opposite, and nobody stopped to ask why. The detail nobody decoded. Let's go back to the trailer, frame by frame. There are 3 moments where Jason is fully visible. Moment 1, sitting in a car, face half in shadow, a tattoo on his neck that the camera very deliberately keeps just out of readable range. Rockstar had a full lighting budget. They chose shadow. Moment 2, standing outside a roadside motel, posture tight, body language defensive. And he is looking away from camera. In film language, a character who won't face the lens has something to hide. That is a directorial choice with a meaning. Moment 3, the final shot, running with Lucia. And even here, right at the peak emotional moment of the trailer, the camera cuts before you get a clean, sustained look at his face. 3 moments, every single one obscured, every single one deliberate. But here's where it gets genuinely shocking. In the 2022 gameplay leak, 90+ clips of raw in-development footage, Jason's dialogue follows a specific pattern. Lucia talks about her past constantly. Her family, her arrest, her desperation to escape. She is an open book. Jason deflects. Every single time someone asks him anything biographical, he pivots, changes the subject, jokes it away. And in one specific leaked clip, when a character asks him directly where he's from, Jason smiles and says, and I'm paraphrasing here, "Does it matter?" That is not a throwaway line. In a Rockstar game, no line is throwaway. That is a character who does not want his origin known, not to other characters and not to the player. The geography tells you everything. Now let's talk about Leonida, because Jason's real identity is hidden inside the setting itself. Florida, and by extension Leonida, has a specific cultural architecture. Old money, new crime, generational family structures in the rural and coastal areas where loyalty is blood, where people with complicated pasts move to disappear. where new identities are easier to build than anywhere else in America. Look at Jason's visual design again with that context in mind. The tattoos aren't random flash art, they're regionally specific, a hybrid of Southern biker culture and rural criminal network iconography. That is not the aesthetic of someone who grew up in Vice City's neon nightclub world. That is someone who came from somewhere else. Someone who arrived in Leonida carrying a past that needed to stay buried. Now cross-reference that with the only confirmed biographical detail Rockstar has given us about Jason, that he and Lucia are a couple who turned to crime together. That's it? That's all they've told us. They gave Lucia an arrest record, a visible criminal history, a documented past. Jason has nothing. No record mentioned, no hometown, no family referenced, no last name confirmed in any official material. You don't give one character a detailed history and leave the other one completely blank by accident. That blank is the story. That blank is intentional. The real identity theory. So who is Jason actually? Here's the theory that the evidence builds toward, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Jason is not a career criminal. He is someone who became one by circumstance, specifically by having to run from something in his past. The Southern tattoo aesthetic, the regional specificity of his visual design, the defensive body language, the biographical deflection, all of it points to a man who had a previous life that ended violently or legally or both, and who rebuilt himself in Leonida under a version of himself that doesn't fully exist on paper. In real Florida criminal culture, which Rockstar clearly researched obsessively, this is called being a ghost, someone who lives in the gaps of official records. Someone whose real name might not even be Jason. Think about that. In a franchise where protagonist names carry enormous weight, Tommy Vercetti, Carl Johnson, Nico Bellic, Michael DeSanta, Trevor Phillips, Rockstar has given us a male lead with only a first name and zero confirmed surname. That is not an oversight, that is a plot device. The name Jason might be exactly as real as the name Michael was in GTA 5's witness protection story, which is to say, it might be a constructed identity worn over something much darker underneath. The proof in the marketing. Now let's look at the marketing itself as evidence, because Rockstar's promotional strategy for Jason is unlike anything they've done before. Every previous GTA protagonist has been front-loaded in the marketing. CJ was everywhere in the San Andreas campaign. Nico Bellic's face was the entire GTA 4 identity. Even Trevor, who was deliberately kept secret initially, was revealed and then immediately pushed as a full personality with trailers, screenshots, and character breakdowns. Jason has received none of that. There has been no dedicated character trailer for him, no official character description, no Rockstar Newswire post detailing his background. He appears in ensemble shots and is mentioned in the duo context, but never spotlighted alone. The marketing is treating him like a mystery. And in Rockstar's history, the things they treat as mysteries are always the things with the biggest story payoff. Remember how long they kept the GTA 5 third protagonist secret? Remember how they drip-fed Trevor until the reveal hit like a freight train? They are doing a longer, slower, more sophisticated version of that with Jason's entire identity, except this time the concealment started before the game even had a release date. The marketing blackout on Jason's background is not a gap in the campaign, it is the campaign. The mystery is the marketing, and the answer is locked inside the game.